Hey everybody, it's Little Troy with Bad Luck Garage, back for episode 4 of our custom cold air box build for our LS Swap 74 C10. So we're going to go ahead and get started on that. Alright, so we've got our bed coating on, we've got all our holes drilled, our bolts in there, we've got our rubber sealer around the edges, so let's get this put in. Should just fit right in here now. What am I hitting on? We got that hole a little close, because that's got to go all the way up against that. So okay, we're there. Yeah, we're up against it. And what's going to end up happening before... Oh, wait. There we go. Now we're sitting where we're supposed to be. I knew something wasn't right. I wasn't pushing it far enough forward. And then this goes back. All right. We're going to have to mark our holes here. Let's see. Square. That one. See if our button head screws here will fit. Good there. Looking good there. Like I mentioned before, I don't really have the money at the moment to I thought I had a piece of Lexan that I could use to make the lid out of, but upon further investigation I've discovered that I actually drilled there's an extra hole in the radiator support. I didn't have it lined up, I guess. I didn't have enough money. The piece of Lexan I had wasn't quite long enough, and at the moment, I'm trying to put this screw in here. At the moment, I don't have the money to buy a larger piece, so that's something that's just going to have to come later. But what I am hoping to do is to go ahead and get my my lid mocked up. We're going to take a piece of poster board or something like that and lay it on here and trace this out, so we can go ahead and start mocking up the lid anyway. Now what I'm going to use here is the bolt that's going into the fender. I'm going to use just a washer on this side, and on the back side I'm going to use a locking lock nut, because we don't want this vibrating off. Luckily we've got these little, hey, I'll just throw that anywhere. Luckily we've got these little cutouts here. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Yeah, you can probably see. Yeah, we've got these cutouts in the inner fender here. That's going to allow us to kind of reach back and hopefully only drop one or two nuts trying to assemble this. I've got, my hands are kind of big. Be nice if get the wife to come out and help me with this, but I don't think that's going on. I think she's got some stuff she's doing in the house today, so she's probably not going to want to come help me with this. Well, this is really awkward to get to. I'm going to take this glove off. It's like I said, I'd prefer not to drop this. But there we go. Just get this nut started on the back side here. Ah, yes. I'll be able to tighten that up. You know, I can easily get a wrench back in there to snug this up. Actually, with the locking nut back there, might not even need to put a wrench. Nope. Holds it good. Like I said before, I'm gonna, we'll be taking this back out and running some welt to seal all this up, along the edges down there. But for now, I'm just trying to get everything in place. See if we can get our bolt run up from the wheel well here. That's going to be a challenge, it looks like. And I'm going to tell you the easiest way to do this would be if, you know, I got smart and put the key in the ignition and, you know, like maybe turn the wheel all the way towards me. That's what a smart man would do. But it's not what I would do. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So. Okay, so after getting this all mounted up, I'm starting to see a few little issues. Number one is, and this isn't a big deal by, you know, in any way, but my air tube naturally wants to rest just forward of where I've got the hole drilled in here, or where I cut the hole for the air filter in the box. So I'm kind of wishing, you know, I would have made this slot over this way about 1 inch, but that's not a big deal because, I mean, you know, it's all rubber coupling, so we can just simply move it up like this. Second issue is I'm going to have to get another coupler. The coupler that I was using before is not going to work just because, well, it wasn't meant for this. It was a plumbing coupler that I got from Home Depot, and it barely fit, and so I don't even want to try to reuse that. Well, I mean, I might try, but I'd rather just, you know, get actual intake couplers. While I'm at it, you know, I'd like to get some black couplers. When I ordered this kit, it was supposed to come with black couplers. It didn't. It come with these cheesy red ones, so they're going to be replaced at some point as well. Okay, as I mentioned before, this coupler was actually a 4-inch to 3-inch coupler that I got from Lowe's a while back. I did have to heat it up to stretch it over the mass airflow sensor, but I was thinking about it, and to save money, instead of having to buy a new coupler, I'm just gonna probably shorten the intake pipe if it's too long. So make you go on. Actually, what I was saying earlier about this causing this to be crooked, this might actually work out for our benefit, because I made this notch for the air filter a little too far over, and the pipe's wanting to come in this way. It's making the air filter want to sit in there a little bit crooked. So I'm kind of glad I decided to go ahead and hook everything up before I drilled this last hole in the firewall for that last mount there. I don't know if you can see this or not, but my intake pipe is butting right up against the mass airflow sensor. But this coupler that I have that came with this kit is a 4-inch coupler. The mass airflow sensor actually needs a little over 3.5 inch. So this coupler is actually too big for the mass airflow sensor anyway. So we're going to see if we can kind of use that fact to our advantage here and wrap this coupler around the outside of this mass airflow sensor mounting area instead of the inside where it's supposed to go, which would be just fine with me, because that'll keep me from having to cut and shorten this pipe and buy another coupler. I think we may actually be onto something here, guys. Okay, now which one's which? Our clamp will go on here and clamp it down, I think. I think we may have this, may be able to call this good. You know, the main thing is we need to be sure that it's not going to come apart. As long as this holds everything stable, then I'm not going to worry about it. I hear a diesel, so we might have some company. It's John's truck, John's diesel. Oh, they're gonna throw fireworks at me here. Guys are always clowning around. Okay, I think we're good on that clamp. Now, this clamp, before we tighten it down, I'm just going to make sure everything's situated the way we want it. These guys know I'm a gun nut, so they like to throw fireworks at me and try to freak me out. After 4 years in the Army, I know the difference between a firecracker and a gunshot, guys. I think this is all gonna, looks like this is all gonna work out for us. Yep. So we got that all tightened down. So now I can kind of figure out how I need to mount this front here, and then start working on the airbox lid. Cute, John, cute. All right, guys, look what I found. So turns out I had, hold on just a second, John. Oh yeah, John's here. Hey, John. So it turns out I had a old beat up piece of Lexan laying around in my garage that I had forgotten about. So this is not going to be the final product, but instead of making the template out of that needs to go all the way to the fender support. Instead of making the template out of, hey Haley, you want to be on my video? Hey, that's my youngest daughter, Haley. So instead of making the template out of cardboard, since this Lexan's really, it's just, you can see it's all got gouges in it, it's not good for anything. We're just going to make the template out of another piece of Lexan here. And that way we can go ahead and get this installed and sealed up until that's done. All right, we're back. Got the little piece of Lexan here cut out. And John's like, dude, I marked this to cut off for the radiator support. And I'm like, no, you didn't, dude. That's supposed to be cut on the other side. So yeah, I screwed that up. So anyway, this little piece has got to get cut off here so that this will go down below the level of the radiator support. So but I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and mark all the holes that need to be drilled, and then we'll go from there. Alright, we got the template bolted on, and I'm going to trace around the edge here so we can get a more perfect cut. But it's kind of starting to shape up, kind of see what it's going to look like. Hey guys, okay, so we got quite a bit done today. Not a whole lot left to do. We're going to build a metal frame to go around the Lexan. We're going to tint the inside of the Lexan just around the edges to give it more of a professional appearance. And I still have to put weather stripping around the bottom edges of the airbox to seal it up to the fender really well. You know, we're about out of daylight, plus my oldest daughter, you met my youngest daughter, Haley, earlier. Well, my oldest daughter, Shea, she just brought her car over, which happens to be a Ford. That's part of the problem, guys. But anyway, she brought her car over, so I need to put a thermostat and a sending unit for her temperature gauge in there for her. She's having some issues, so I'm gonna call it quits for today and get started on that for her. Again, if you like this video, hit the little thumbs up button, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you in episode 4. Wait, this is episode 4. I'll see you in episode 5. Bye guys.